Mierda! They stepped into it! Engaging!
Enemy UAV inbound. Locking down Bravo.
Enemy stunned!
Taking Bravo underway. Bravo zone secure.
Requesting recon above!
Ja, nice. Just be sharp with an binocular. Just playing last year, baby. Quite a few matches. 69. Or 53.
Hostile UAV established overhead. Taking B.
Requesting recon above!
Enemy UAV inbound.
Back out, this is there's no weeds. Staying up for another 20 minutes. Until tomorrow.
Language which meant something slightly different in the other language. The Bible may be divinely inspired, but there are human fingerprints all over it.
It's funny because I do sooner than
Combined with the beginnings of what starts to become quite misogynistic religious culture, you begin to but it's essentially a mistranslation.
A mistranslation? Is it possible that the stories of Jesus, like many other Bible stories, have been told and retold, translated and retranslated so many times that their historical accuracy has become muddled, lost to time?
The problem is that it's all a matter of translation. For example, in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus says that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Why would that make Jesus the Lord of the Sabbath?
Remember that Jesus speaks Aramaic, right? So the New Testament is written in Greek with a few Aramaic words thrown in there, but Jesus speaks Aramaic. And in Aramaic, Baranosh, like Son of Man, is just a way of saying a dude. The secret about the word Son of Man is that in Aramaic, it's just the way that you say a person.
If you translate this passage back into Aramaic, the word for Son of Man and the word for man is the same word, Barnosh. In other words, humans have priority over the Sabbath. When this got translated into Greek, that meaning got changed, and then now all of a sudden Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath.
The Bible.
Hardcore domination. Time to get our hands dirty, Black Ops. Get to work. Taking A.
Capturing the subject.
Alpha secure.
Enemy.
Lead down. Rocket down Bravo. Take a B.
Eyes on enemy turbo. Hey, incoming wave!
Losing B.
They also point to the fact that the New Testament was written not on scrolls, but on individual pages and codex.
Throughout the history of Christianity, what we see is that Christians that the first to embrace the codex, a book with pages. And this is because the way that Christians read the Bible is that they have to be able to compare passages. And the best way to do
was because they had a physical artifact that marked out their distinction from people who used another book form for their holy text. Christians used the Codex, Jews used the scrolls.
All four Gospels of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, recount how Jesus was crucified and his body buried next to him. They also describe
Ends with chapter 16, verse 8, in which the women go to wash Jesus' body, and when they get to the tomb, they see that the tomb has been rolled back, empty. And the gospel actually ends with verse 8, in which Mark writes, the women went away from there and said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid.
It says the women ran away, said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. And then it just stops.
But why would this story come to such an abrupt end? Some scholars believe it might simply be that the original ending was written on a page that was deleted or destroyed.
The old theory was that Mark's gospel was in the Codex and the back page fell off. It was many, many years later that a later redactor, very likely unsatisfied by that ending in the Gospel of Mark, added 8 more verses to the Gospel of Mark in which you have this resurrection appearance.
So the earliest scribes of Mark added fresh endings on. One of them became very popular, the ending that you see in most Bibles today. You might say that the story of the resurrection actually emerges as an interesting literary story, partly because people are so dissatisfied with Mark's story.
Is it possible that the account of Jesus' divine resurrection, one of the most important tenets of Christianity, was the consequence of a missing page? Many scholars now believe that as Christianity became more popular and more powerful, it became common practice to edit the New Testament in ways that would support evolving religious beliefs. But deliberately altering the Bible could also have deadly consequences, particularly if the changes ran afoul of traditional thought or political agendas.
Welcome to Tackling Life with Fred and Sydney, brought to you by Experience.
Question number 1, who was on their phone?
Thing I gotta say, you that you love that phone.
All the experience.
Canceling no subscriptions that we don't need.
Getting things organized, making things easier.
Saving time and money.
Slide on my phone.
Honey, you know what I saw those? These are the questions that the fans are asking.
The phone will be.
That's my kind of thing right there. Download the Experience app now.
You alright, Mama? Oh, how you doing, baby? Hi, my love. You got a finger nap? You good now, Mama? Come here.
Oxford
What you want? I give
1382.
you food, tea.
Philosopher and biblical scholar John Wycliffe is under suspicion for his radical ideas to reform the Catholic Church, including his own translation of the New Testament. After his death 2 years later,
Oh, no, I
the
didn't.
Church officially declares his version of the Bible to be heresy.
Wycliffe died in his bed, safe and sound. So the church judges Wycliffe for heresy. Is a posthumous judgment made against him for heresy. The stake digs him up and puts what's left of his body in the flames. And that's a message to his followers that heresy must be expunged, dead or alive.
The church wanted to keep control over the message of the Bible. And so there was an official translation that was the only one that was to be used, and the priests were the ones that were to do their and so
Come
forth.
here. Mommy. Love you.
What was the nature of Wycliffe's heresy? His very soul be condemned.
I'm gonna have to go and get some kills first. I'll kill it for you, shit. Yeah, Jay, don't see you alone. Oh shit. Damn, he's right behind me? You cheated. That's cheating. Can't do that. Can't get behind me. Fuck. You're gonna get behind me. That means you cheated. That's all that can mean. Shit, shit. Good for him. It's all right. Don't worry, can't nobody hear me. I'm done talking with Don't
Hard point identified.
You got machine around? I wish you luck, man.
Hard point active. Hard point is secured.
Wow, man. You okay?
We got the lead. Now hold it.
See, that's yeah, go in time. Go in time, shit. I'll take it, man. I think you might go with Chanel. Love you, man. Get the fuck out of here. He's like this cheating. He's hacking at you.
Back on. Give me a UAV.
Sniper on target. Hostile shooter. Semtex incoming.
Nice.
Hard point attack. Hard point locked in.
Target ID.
Sniper. See that back up.
we're going to use the Bible as the foundation of it, and we're going to do our own thing. The Pope essentially has investments in England. He is interested in the real estate of England. The church owns land. The church is making money off land in England. If Henry splits from the Roman church, then the revenues from England aren't going to make it back to Rome. And this is a danger for the Pope.
Henry VIII is the person who is associated with the first production of a Bible in English, but he took some persuading. Henry makes a proclamation in 1530 that says, you can translate the Bible when I tell you to, and not before.
One of those who disobeyed the much-married monarch's orders was William Tyndale.
I remember him.
In 1536, he was tried for heresy, found guilty, and was sentenced to be burned to death at the stake.
That's what happened to me.
Died because he made it possible for people to read the Bible in English. And he was still doing translation work in the prison before he was taken for execution. The way that he was killed in a form of mercy, he was strangled before the flames reached him. And this was probably because of some respect that was accorded to him as a great scholar. To translate the Bible into English was a life or death proposition. People died for this cause.
Ironically, within 3 years of Tyndale's death, Henry VIII, now the head of the Church of England, authorized his own English translation of the Bible to the
eventually Henry VIII decides that it's not so bad having the Bible, especially if you can control it.
Marble Terrace Square. More choices, more value.
Okay.
Overwhelmed by all the cars in the city? We can make your search easy by showing you cars across categories in one place, so you can find the car you want to reel in without the heavy lifting. Whether you're fishing
You
for
know.
travels,
You all got to say, Chanel?
category, you can spot your next
You all got to say?
compare cars into a credit card.
You all got to say? There you go. Let's see your cell phone.